Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm actually going to show you how to make 3 different epoxy resin items. And we'll be using Let's Resin Part B and Part A epoxy. You mix them equal parts by volume, and then you want to mix it up for 4 minutes. And I'm doing 40 milliliters. So I did 20 of B and 20 of A to make a total of 40 milliliters. And once my 4 minutes is up, I can stop stirring, and then I can add whatever I want to use to put in my resin. So I'm just going to use this glass clay. And really, I got it from Fire Mountain Gems like years and years ago when I was doing jewelry, and I really didn't know what to do with it. I don't even know why I ordered it. But it does work good in resin for coloring. Now, I just put 2 scoops in there because I didn't want it to color the resin too much, because I'm going to be adding something else to this. And I wanted it to be the star of the show. So there it is, and here's my heart mold that I'm going to be using. I'm spraying it with 91% alcohol, and then I'm just rubbing my gloved fingers down in it just to spread it around. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and try to get, well, I guess I didn't do it, but I usually kind of turn it upside down to get some of the alcohol out of it, but I guess it was okay. Now, the reason I'm pouring this in here without my other additive in it is because I didn't want bubbles on the very top of my Trinket tray, and I thought that if I did it this way, it would be less likely to get bubbles down in there. And then I'm just going to take my tool there that has silicone on the end of it, and I'm just going around the edge, which would be the lip of my heart when you demold it. So this is what I'm going to add to it. Now, this is little tiny fine gravel, and my neighbor got this, and this is actually the stuff they put on roofing tiles. And this is gray, and it has some specks of black in it, and he says he can get it in any color I want, and that he can get as much or whatever, you know, that I want. And I'm like, yes, please. So I'm guessing I'll be getting some more of this in different colors at some point down the road. So as you can see, what I put in there just wasn't enough at all. So I'm going to add more. And then I just squeeze that plastic container there, and I'm just scooping it in there, just dragging it in there. So I put quite a bit in there. And I know this is going to settle to the bottom of the mold there, which is actually the top of the Trinket jar, and that's fine with me. So see, I'm putting more in there. I just didn't really know how much to put in there. I didn't want a whole lot of bubbles. Now I'm just going to, oh there, I'm just showing you what it looks like. So I probably shouldn't have put the plain colored resin down in there to start out with, but I just didn't want bubbles. So I think if I were to do this again and do it this way, I would not do, I would not pour it in there without the little rock pieces. And I'm just going to take my lighter there, and I'm going to pop any bubbles that have come up. And this mold plus 2 other molds that are the same size, they actually came in a package from Aldi's for $1. Now they don't have them anymore, but or at least my Ollie's doesn't. But I thought that was pretty good. 3 little Trinket tray molds for $1. So now I have my turtle here, and I didn't spray it. And I'm just going to, I forgot to spray it actually. And I'm just going to put the rest of my resin with a little tiny gravel or whatever you want to call it in there in the turtle. So I just fill it up. So I'm trying to get it more in the legs, the tail, and the head. And I'm just going to take my little spatula there. Now I did get these from Amazon. They come 6 in a package. They're little mini ones, and they have the curved end on the end of the spatula. And I mean, it works really great with resin. So if you do resin, you need these little mini spatulas, let me tell you. They will get every drop of resin out of your container. Okay, so I got my turtle filled up. Now I need to do his shell. And I'm not going to do it clear since I had this left over. I'm just going to do it with this, and I don't need, it doesn't need to be seen whatever's inside of it, I don't think, for this anyway. I mean, the little pieces of gravel, they're like the show, the main event. And I ended up not having quite enough, and I had to mix up some more. And of course, you know, I mixed up way too much. I think I did 10 of A, 10 milliliters of A and 10 milliliters of B, which I knew was going to be too much. But, you know, the markings on the container, you can't really do less than that. And I didn't want to, you know, do it to where I didn't get the portions correct, because then your stuff is not going to cure. So again, I'm taking my lighter and I'm just popping any bubbles that rise to the top. Now this lighter does come 4 in a package from Amazon, and these are the ones with the little ends on them, not the real long ends. And now what I'm going to use is this little shell mold. And so I'm going to put the rest of my resin in it. I don't think it fills it totally to the top, but that's okay. It's a pretty thick mold. So I'm just going to take my spatula there. I'm going to scrape off my scraper tool, and then I'm going to scrape out my container and get everything in my mold. See how much you can get out with that? And I mean, it'll scrape it till you have nothing left in there. It's amazing. Get you one of these. A package. And they're not that expensive. I think it's like $8 or something like that. For 6. And of course, you know, I have to keep scraping, make sure I get every drop out. And I think I quit showing you that in a minute. Yep. And then I'm just going to take my lighter and pop any of the bubbles that come to the top. And I don't know if I said, but the little gravel is gray, and it does have excuse me, some specks of black in it. So here's everything cured. Now I did put it on my heating mat for 2 hours on a low medium heat. So it's not fully cured, but it's cured enough to get it out of the molds. And my heating mat did it's a leveling table and heating mat all in one. I did get it off of Amazon. And this this tray, not tray, but paper that you see there is copper. That is a sheet that you can get, I think 5 of them in a package or something like that from Amazon. It's a Teflon sheet is what it is. And it works really well for resin. I mean, it's even better than the other sheets that everybody uses. The ones that the molds are made out of. I don't know why I can't think of words. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, when I do, I'll let you know. But I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm just testing the top of my turtle's shell on the turtle, and it does fit. But like I said, it's not fully cured yet. So it was, you know, a little sticky on there. And then here's the heart tray. Silicone. So these Teflon mats work better, in my opinion, than the silicone mats because they clean up a lot easier. So I'm just going around the edge of the inside of the mold, and then I'm going to start kind of flipping it wrong side out. And then I can pull my heart out. There it goes. Make sure you put your mold back the way it should be. Okay, here's my heart. And then you can see where the resin was in there with just the coloring and without the gravel in it. I mean, I don't mind it. It's not bad. However, I think if I were to do it again, I would not put that in there. I would just do the resin with the little rock pieces, and that's it. And I didn't have any bubbles or any holes on the top rim of my heart. And then here's my turtle. I did have a little hole right there, pointing that out. And I am going to get my UV resin, and I'm going to try to fill that in. So I'm just going to put a drop right there where the hole is. Now I don't want it to drip down on the ledge there because that's where the turtle shell is going to be glued on. And I don't want that to be a bump and be in the way. So I'm just going to take my toothpick and try to get that resin up and into the hole. And then I'm going to take my UV light. It's just a little flashlight looking thing. And I had gotten it at Hobby Lobby. Actually, I had gotten it there probably 2 or 3 years ago. I had lost it there for a while, didn't know where it was, and then I finally found it. So I'm just checking to make sure that it is cured, and it is. Again, just making sure that the turtle shell is going to fit on there, and it will. But like I said, it's still a little sticky. It's not fully cured yet. I am going to add just a tad bit more UV resin to that hole. And hopefully this will take care of it. So just hold the light on there just for a few seconds. You don't have to do it very long. And that's good. Again, just checking to make sure my shell is going to sit on there correctly, and it will. So I'm good to go on that. Okay, so this is the next day. I let all these pieces cure overnight. So I'm going to start with my little heart tray, and isn't that cute? And like I said, it's mostly gray. You can see where there's the resin that didn't have the little gravel in it. And then you can see some specks of black in it too. So this is the bottom of it, and I'm just going to take my fingernail file and just soften it up a little bit. It really wasn't bad at all. I probably could have skipped this part, but I just wanted to go ahead and do it just to make it a little bit smoother than what it was. And that's it. That's it for the tray. I'm not going to do anything else to it. So I'm going to give you a close-up look at it and see, you can see where those little black specks are. I think those are cute. And then you can see where there's no gravel around it. And that's kind of cute too, because then it makes a heart in the middle. I don't mind it. I really don't. So here it is outside on an old piece of log. Bright sunny day. And here it is again. You'll have to let me know what you think of the Trinket tray. Now we're going to go on to the shell. So, of course, with the shell, all of the rock, you know, it's heavy, so it's going to sink to the bottom, and then your resin is going to kind of rise up to the top. And the resin has that little bit of orange glass, whatever it was that I colored it with. And then I'm just going to take my fingernail file there, and I'm going to file down the back of it because it was a little sharp. It was more sharp than the little tray. So I got that all filed down. And now I'm going to take my teeny tiny drill bit, and I'm going to find the center of the top of my shell, and I'm going to drill a little hole. And I'm not going to go very deep at all. And I have a little eye screw, little teeny tiny, it's a golden color, and I'm just going to screw this into that hole that I created. And I think these little itty bitty eye screws I got at Michael's. I got a package of gold and a package of silver. And then I have my gold jump ring. I'm going to add it to my eye screw. And then I'm going to add my key ring with a chain on it. I'm going to add it to the jump ring, and then I'm going to close it up. And when you open and close jump rings, you want to go back and forth. You don't want to go, you know, you don't want to pull it apart. You want to go back and forth. I don't really know how to explain it, but you're not pulling it apart. You're taking one end and going one direction, the other end in the other direction. So again, I have another jump ring, and I'm going to add a charm, and this is the cutest little flip-flop ever, and it's in gold. So I'm just going to add it to one of the links in the chain. Make sure it faces to the front part of the shell. And then we take another jump ring, and I'm going to add another charm, and this time it's a gold butterfly. So there it is, a butterfly. And then I want to make sure that my shell is turned front forward, facing forward, when I go to put my charm on one of the links in the chain. And then the last jump ring I'm going to add to my tassel. And this tassel is made of foam, and it is glittered foam. And I made it, so I do have a video on that, and I'll try to remember to put the link to the video in the description box. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. If if I forget, let me know in the comments and I'll get that taken care of. And this one, I'm going to put it in the first link of the chain so that it'll have room to hang down. And then that's it. I have this nice little shell keychain with a flip-flop and a butterfly and a tassel on it. Isn't it cute? I'd carry this. So there it is. And now here's a picture of it outside. You have to let me know what you think about that one. And now for the turtle. So there's the top. Everything is nice and cured because, like I said, this is the next day. Now, this is a shaker, but you're not going to be able to see what's inside of it. And I did get, you know, a little ahead of myself here, but I'm just taking my fingernail file again, and I am softening up the bottom edges of the turtle. I don't have to do anything to the shell because it's fine. And this is just regular fingernail files that you can get, you know, at the dollar store or Walmart or Ollie's or wherever. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Just a regular old fingernail file. Now, what I was saying was, because the shell is not see-through, you're not going to be able to see whatever you put in your shaker. And what I have here, and I know I'm trying to show you, but you can't really see it too much. Right here you can see it a little bit, was we went to California several years ago to visit our daughter when she lived there, and they took us to a beach that was called Glass Beach. And it was called that because so many pieces of glass was littered all over the beach, and then you know, the waves and everything would turn them into sea glass. Well, there's not so much sea glass there anymore, just little itty bitty pieces, because people have picked all over it and they've taken it all. So, but it is still covered with sea glass and everything. It was a very interesting place to visit, and there were seals, I think it was, laying on the rocks and stuff. So I mean, it was pretty cool. So anyway, I'm just taking my art glitter glue and I'm putting it around the rim of the turtle, and then I'm going to put the shell on top of it. But like I say, you're not going to be able to see any of the stuff in it, but I did want to put something in there so that, you know, if you shake it, you can hear it. So this is not a visual shaker. This is a for hearing sound. It's a sound shaker only. So I'll get you up close to it. There we go. I think it turned out pretty good. I like it. Now let me know, of the three, what do you like best? I am always partial to these little turtles. I don't know why. I just am. So to me, the turtles are my favorite. But I like the other stuff too. So there he is outside on the little piece of log. Well, it's not a little piece. It's a pretty big piece of log. So there's all three of them. Let me know which one's your favorite and why. Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. I do videos and shorts all week long. Like, you know, on the days I'm doing a video, I don't do a short.